one of our verticals called the Digital Security Training. It's called DST for short form. So over a period, over the past few years, we have conducted around 71 workshops covering over 6,500 participants across 10 states. And the main stakeholder groups that we have had so far has been students, journalists, lawyers, government institutions, gender rights activists, gig workers, among others. So, with that, I'll move forward. Now, just to speak on this topic and just to keep this a bit more interactive, take this as an exercise. I am not here to lecture you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to talk, and I want your participation in this. So, the participation calls for a question, which is, what is privacy, or what do you mean by this? I do not need a definition, I need your opinion on what is privacy. So, if there is any volunteer who can explain what privacy is.
The decider is what of it.
Sir, a brief idea that I have about privacy, not speaking in any legal terminology.
I don't need a legal terminology.
Yeah, so privacy in the sense that such information that you do not want to share it out in public unless you give your consent and you trust that other person.
Fine. Any other thoughts?
Everything you want to keep it with you. I mean, you don't want to disclose, you don't want to reveal that. Like, whatever you do, it has to be with you. Like that.
Yeah, something that you want to be with you. So, essentially, you are all right. And looking at the generic definition of privacy, privacy is, as from the Oxford Dictionary, is the state of being alone and not watched or disturbed by others. So, essentially, what you said. Unless you want others to affect you, you should not be affected. And nothing from you should go on. Now, in India, we have fundamental rights. For those who are studying law, for those who are lawyers, or social rights activists, they would know that there are certain fundamental rights that cannot be alienated under most of the circumstances. So, privacy has not been a fundamental right since the inception of the country. Privacy has become fundamental right only in 2017 by a judgment called Justice K.S. Parthaswamy versus Union of India. Right? It was a unanimous judgment where they said that the right to privacy is a fundamental right and it cannot be taken away. So that is essentially what privacy means. And throughout the session, we'll be speaking of privacy and how that has to be preserved. So, next one. Now, when it comes to privacy, you don't want your information to go out, right? You don't want to be disturbed, you don't want your information to go out. So, that categorizes information into public information, personal information, and sensitive personal information. Any idea on public information is self-explanatory. Anything that is out in public is public. Then there are personal and sensitive personal information. Anyone wants to try? This is not a given out definition.
Information as in could be your personal number or could be like your Aadhaar card number or any bank accounts which could be possibly and could
or any health data, particularly you can say that too is also sensitive.
So that is sensitive personal information. You're speaking of personal information. Yeah. So the idea to ask this question was to just tell you one thing, that personal information, while it can be defined to an extent, sensitive personal information depends completely on the person this question is being asked. So for him, the sensitive personal information could be health data. For me, it could be my religion. For him, it could be his income. So this is a very subjective terminology which is given, and hence it is also not described in any law. So just a few examples of sensitive personal information are religion, gender, home, address, caste, etc., etc. And the list goes on.
Hello?
Anything that you feel like, okay, this is very close to me and this can identify me. or could be in jeopardy, that is sensitive personal information. Moving on. Now, we spoke about leak just now. Someone in an example said the word. So, as we all know, that we have a number of information of ourselves which is on public domain, and that information can leak. First of all, just to tell you that if you see an image of me right now in the physical world, there's also an image of me in here. And I can say with utmost assurance that the image of myself, which is on the internet, is far more true than what you see in front of me. I can fake in front of you. I would not fake myself on the internet. Because I have this anonymity on the internet most of the time. People do fake on the internet a lot, I do get that, but the idea is to tell you that when you are self-browsing, then you are truthful to yourself. So the data that you're giving out, you're not in any sense manipulating that. Now, when that data is online, there can be two scenarios when your data can be public domain. There can be a data breach, there can be a data leak. And these are two very separate terms. Anyone who's into law here, you what I say. Good. So, for the lawyers in the house, there are two essentials to a crime: actus reus, mens rea. So, mens rea is the mental aspect. I'll give you an example to explain these. So, if I have a house and I need to go out for 15 minutes, let's say, to get milk. When I go out of the house, I have 3 locks. I lock all 3. It's the same door. I'm locking all 3. And then I go out, even if I'm going out for 15 minutes. Just to keep my house safe. The other scenario is that I think, okay, it's just 15 minutes. I'll shut the door. I won't lock it. I'll go and come back. In this both scenario, the responsibility was on me, right? So in the first scenario, if someone comes into my house and robs my house, that person has an ill intent, right? Where they're breaking my lock, they're getting inside my house, they're taking my stuff out. In the second instance, I've left the door open. Even an inquisitive child can get it, right? Even though mens rea can be there, a mental intent can be there, it's not necessary. In the first instance, it's not my fault that I got robbed. I took all the precautions. In the second instance, it was somewhat my fault. I kept everything. I might have shut the door. It looked to be closed. It was not closed. So in a data breach, an outsider actively tries to break in and breaks in to take the data, where I have kept all the reasonable safeguards. In data leak, however, I have not kept the reasonable security safeguards. Now, these are theories that I was explaining up until now, just for you to understand the next things that we're going to look at. But I hope this has been a bit of information so far. Moving on, finish. Now, so, as if some of you have any phone, I'd like you to scan this. So, this is a website called haveibeenpawned.com. The pawn intentionally does not have A in it. It's PWW, NED. So, once you open this website, take a picture, then I'll open the website itself here. And this is to showcase you what I mean by data breach, data leak, what happens when the data goes out, what kind of data profiling happens, what is threat modeling. Okay, 3, 2, 1, I'm moving. Go. Very good. Oh yeah. Okay, so we are on Have I Been Pawned? Are we? Are you connected to the internet? Okay. Some people might have opened this, right? Is it open for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what this website does is, it's a repository of all the data breaches that are reported globally. It looks like this, it looks somewhat different in your phone. So, yeah. So what I'd like one of you to volunteer your personal email ID that you have been using for some time. So we can type it out here.
Only if you are comfortable.
Only if you're comfortable. Your email ID.
Yeah.
Can you spell it out, Vignesh?
What's that? Spell it out, please.
23D4
23
D4
D4
18
1
A
A.
double 3.
I want the ID, not password.
Yeah.
I mean, is it the email ID you were using for long?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I will use another.
Thank you. It looks like a password.
Varshit Reddy. VAR
VAR
SHI
SHI
TH
TH
RE
sorry
RE
RE
DDY
DDY.
EDY
ANU
ANU
MAN
MAN.
DLA
You house it.
final DLA
Sorry, yeah.
DLA
DLA.
@gmail.com.
I'm never emailing you, man.
How do you remember your email ID?
No, right? But yeah, let's see. I don't think there would be any breaches on this particular one. Let's see. Can you verify that you are a user?
Yeah. Why would Robo do this job?
But yeah, while he's speaking, so as I said, this is a whole repository of all the reported data breaches throughout the globe. And I emphasize on the word reported. So what it does is, whenever there is a data breach, it records what was breached. So the breach could have your name, breach could have your phone number, breach could have your address, gender, etc., etc. Why is it so slow?
But what happens after we see that there is a data breach?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to show you. But yeah, never mind. So, can you try mine?
I'm going for job.
You got?
Going for job.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Yeah, please take a seat. Yeah. Okay, so skipping yours because it was taking time. It was so long that internet gone. Imagine, you should change it. So yeah. So this is a random email ID that we generally use. So once I entered this email ID, you saw that there are 406 data breaches that are globally reported on this particular email ID. What we see here is, then if we scroll down, we will see, and same for those of you who have opened this on your phone, if there is a data breach, you will see that there is a list of places that the breach was reported. So for instance, there is this Prosper, wherein the compromised data includes browser user agent details, credit card, status information, date of birth, email address, employment status, government issued ID, income level, IP address, name, physical address. So these are the information of this person which is in the public domain. Another example, any?
How many of you have any breaches shown up so far? Anyone?
This is reported?
Yes. How many?
I haven't checked here, but physically I have reported one.
Okay. Now you have.
No, I did not. I'm scared to check. That's why I asked. What if I find?
No.
So which is why I didn't.
We'll let you check.
Yeah.
It's the fear is a good cause for security. You should try that.
Actually, I checked
What are your
two
links?
emails. One, I got 0.
Yeah.
Another one, one data.
Which one is that?
My dad's.
Okay.
Which no?
Service did you say they leak?
Scroll down.
Service.
Scroll down.
That's
That's fast.
What are the data leaks?
Compromised data.
email address,
Yeah.
geographic location,
Mhm.
names, passwords, phone numbers, spoken languages, usernames.
Okay. Anyone else?
0 data.
0. What were yours?
14.
14. Are you?
Yeah, mine is also around that much, but then I checked a few years ago, so I really want to.
Damn. Okay.
Really are 3.
Real. Nice. So it's a government one. So can you give us an example of the breaches you had in the compromised data, if you're comfortable with it?
Simply potential stuffing threat data.
Okay. Cool.
Alien text space.
Yeah, expensive.
What are you using?
Look, it's not even the services that you use. There are other services
Have you
also.
ever used these services?
No, there's some I have used, like partial Trello,
Okay.
Canva.
Okay.
Canva?
Yes,
Yeah,
Canva has
Canva.
a
Anyone who's using Canva.
Tracks, yeah.
Okay, great. So just to see that there are some. Now what's happening is that we have a certain number of databases. Can you go to?
Do you guys know what Gravatar is?
I'll have to
No,
take a look at.
It's a
Gravatar.
it's a service where they provide avatars for your profile pictures. Something related to that one.
I've never used it.
I know.
That's something
there are
that-
services that you have not used also have your data breached. We
Yeah.
look into why that is.
Yeah. So just to show you another example, there's Domino's India. Even my data is in this, so I'm not proud of it. But never mind.
All pizza eaters.
Yes. You can see. But yeah, the compromised data includes email address, name, phone numbers, physical address, purchases. So previously we have seen it has your locations, it has your surname, income level and all. Moving on, go to Aditya. Yeah. Now we have Aditya Birla Fashion Retail. I'm going to explain two things here. In Aditya Birla Fashion Retails, as you know, this is a fashion browsing website or more like an Amazon kind of a thing. Go up. So, compromised data includes your email address, gender, income level, job title, password, marital status, name, phone number, email address, physical address, purchases, revisions, and relations. Okay, fine. So, I understand that your name could be breached. I understand that your email and password could be breached, your gender could be breached, because these are usually the kind of data that you are giving out to sign up for that platform. But why does Aditya Birla Group Fashion Retail have your religion, have your income level, have your marital status or celebrations and celebrations? Because these are usually the things that, except for a government-based website, is never asked for you. And even a government-based website, only the banks, the PAN data would ask for your income level.
Oh, maybe your social media asks if you are married or not, but I don't think a fashion
Yeah.
retail one should.
How do you think they have this?
So Aditya Birla is a private organization, isn't it?
Yeah.
They need to cater their product sets to kind of things as per our income level. Yeah, because when they are not well aware about our income level, how they can send us these email sets to kind of things.
Yeah, but they never specifically ask for income level.
The thing is, capitalists have always in their mind our income.
Yeah. So that's one. That's one.
Because if we look at it as an capitalist perspective, then it's all the gamma of theirs to, I can say, invade on our privacy.
On our privacy, yes. But that's one answer. Anyone else has any other idea?
They usually get funding from the government for certain projects.
I like your thinking, but yeah. But yeah, so see, there is no clear answer to how they got your data. There could be, we can obviously come to a conclusion on what could happen. One answer is what he had said. One answer is what you have said. The third, and according to me reasonable, is that they saw what I purchased. So if I'm buying a shirt, shirts come in different price range. I can get a white shirt for 300 rupees. I can also get a white shirt for 3,000 rupees. So if I am categorically buying 3,000 rupees shirt, I might be rich. It can put me into a high income range. It can put me into a low income range. It can put me into a mid income range.
That's what I said.
Yeah, precisely. The capitalist agenda of data profiling. So this is something called data profiling. That whatever you're doing is you're being profiled to fit into a particular category. Right? The other thing is, how do they have your religion? Your name, but a person can be named Sarah. That's a Hindu name, Muslim name, Christian name. Anything else? I mean, that's a fair reasonable answer. Yes.
Maybe cases have been done during a festive season.
Festival seasons.
Restless seasons, yes, both of them. So these are all the reasonable outputs we can come to. But the main thing that I'm trying to say is these were information not given by us. Right? They might have gotten this information through the reasons that we just discussed.
But is there a possibility that they bought the data from someone?
I'm coming to that. Yeah. So, what's happening here is that your data has gone out and so much of your data has gone out. And I'll come to a slightly different aspect and then we move on to this. So for instance, we have seen that for this person and for maybe you, because you have so many data breaches, you have your name, address, that includes the physical address, your phone numbers, your purchasing history, yeah, because that is also there. These all kinds of information, and your geographical as well as physical address in the public domain. Now think like a criminal. Rest of you think like a criminal. And if you had to cause any kind of harm, how would you do that?
Just to clarify, if I have Arun's house address,
user name and my password to this particular email ID, but that's not what happened. So just to show you an example and what Vignesh said so right now, that these are APIs. This is the main website. What is this? This is the communication that is happening. I want you to recommend.
Oh, yeah.
You're a technologist.
So, for example, the YouTube here is trying to communicate with Indigo Flights, which is trying to communicate elsewhere. And there is another website which is communicating with Spotify, which is communicating with Google somewhere there. If I go up, you can see. And then Google communicates with some other website and goes on. What actually happens is, every activity of yours in your browser, you think you are not logged in, you are completely fine, they don't know who you are. But how do they know who you are is by, let's say, if you are visiting a news website and you are reading certain news article. Which kind of news article are you interested in? Which is what you are coming back and reading again and again. How often do you read? Which part of the whole article do you read the most? What is your reading pattern? How slow or fast? At which part of the article are you reading? All of this gives me an idea of who you are. I don't have to know your name. I don't know any other information. Just your behavior will give me an idea. For example, let's say if I limp and walk in my office, everybody knows that this limping guy is so and so person, right? That's how whatever behavior you do in the website gives an idea of who you are. You do that same in some other website also. If I know this activity is happening everywhere else, I know it is the same person doing everywhere else, right? That is what these websites are giving detail about. Okay, this person did certain kind of browsing, and that's the data which I'm passing. Most of them do that. Not all the triangles are bad. Some are very essential, non-harmful, API requests. For example, Google font. Our own website also sometimes we fetch Google fonts. They are not harmful, but there are a lot others which are harmful. Now this is 2 minutes of browsing. I want you to try it on your computer. Once you go home, just install Lightning and in your Firefox browser. Try it for 1 hour.
So suppose we are using one app, and then that app will identify this pattern and send it to others.
First of all, that app itself, tracking all your user habit is not good. They could also be giving you to others.
Okay.
Isn't it this is based on the algorithm system? Algorithm system?
Yeah, so algorithms, no. First of all, algorithm is something, this is basically a program to do certain job. Is certain content being reaching to you? That's algorithm design.
So in my way, we completed first and question.
Okay.
We have 10 minutes.
Sorry.
Just wait to.
I'll do quickly then. Okay, so this is what is happening here. We'll do the questions in the last one. Can you go to the presentation?
I don't know how the OS is.
Next slide. So we know that the data is being shared everywhere, and you don't have to actually log in to them to know who you are. Next one. Privacy Badger is one of a tool which I use in my Firefox browser. It's an extension which makes sure that data sharing doesn't happen. There is a certain part of the code in every website, as Mr.
It's not that I will see.
Oh, I'm really sorry. But I know. Yeah, so the particular part of the code, which is the actual tracking your behavior, that is being identified by Privacy Badger, and it doesn't let it load when the website loads. So when the tracker doesn't load, they cannot track it. That's what it does. And if it does break your website, if it is really necessary for your website to load, then you can also let Privacy Badger know this is required, and Privacy Badger will let the tracker work. Next one, please. How many of you here have YouTube Premium? Anyone? Okay, all rich folks. 2 rich folks. Anybody else? How many did you? How much have you have to pay for? 249 per month or a year?
It's 299 per
Per month.
month. Family, yeah.
Oh, okay. And you?
Yeah, the same thing. For family, 299 and family.
299. Okay. I didn't have that much money. I had to find another way. Work around. Use the margin. How many ads otherwise other people, poor people like me are watching?
I use an ad blocker.
I use that.
You are using ad block.
Same.
Other than you, how many of you actually watching ads? How many ads do appear in YouTube?
It's 1.5 minutes, around 5 to 6 ads. Or
5 to 6.
Yeah.
I was expecting 3 much.
It was recently, sir. They've increased so much. I was badly.
4 ads, 40 minutes,
Sir,
40 seconds.
Sir, it's more like we have
It has
more
gone to
ads
100
and
to
we are
50.
showing the ads.
Yeah.
In television, 4 ads.
So the actual video you want to watch is an ad.
I believe each and everything in this world is advertising. Everything is ad.
Right.
You are wearing this shirt, it's also an ad. I am wearing this shirt.
At least I'm not taking your mind away from this. This is a very small ad.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know all of this how many ads are playing now because I've been using cryptocurrency, and no ads in YouTube, no ads in any other website. Everything is being blocked. If at all any ad pops up, you just right click on it. If you already have cryptocurrency, and under the option you can select it's an ad, and it just blocks that.
So
in
where
the
do we
future.
download this from?
It's an extension.
It's an extension for your Firefox browser.
Also, the reason why we are asking you to choose ad blockers or use Privacy Badger is to first not let the whole exercise of user profiling and data profiling happen over you, because your interaction with the ad particularly is something that they observe. You know who I mean by they. I'll come to you and I need to raise the presentation.
So, but does it only work in Firefox?
The official one works on Firefox only. There are unofficial ones, and somehow people have made it work on other browsers as well. I personally do not recommend any other browser other than Firefox. There are few others I would recommend. Chrome, Brave, all of them I won't recommend. We'll look into why not in the last one.
Yeah. If you keep answering one question in the middle, I won't get to the last.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, but what was I saying?
Data point.
Why you're asking us to use
Yeah. Because your interaction with a particular ad is something that is observed. You try. Because your interaction with an ad is something that they want to observe, and that's how your data is being profiled. That is your user tracking habits. That's why when you're using Facebook, when you're using Instagram, you get very, very specific ad. It's because of your interaction with the ad itself. Did you immediately skip it when it was skippable ad? Did you immediately scroll up, or did you wait 2 seconds to read that? That's how you know whether the particular ad you just saw was something that you would be interested in or not. And the reason why we use Privacy Badger is because the tracking also happens without ad. So for instance, if I'm on any TV news website, or even if I'm on YouTube, what's happening is that I'm spending, let's say, more time watching podcast, and maybe he's spending more time watching motorsports. So the kind of content, the content that is tailor-made for you, happens from that as well. And there are a lot other things that happen because your data is being tracked. This is the simplest example. Because we do not have a lot of time, I'll move to OGPD.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is an exercise that we usually do over a span of 3 days. So, understand how difficult it is for us. So, because we are an organization that works on digital rights, we are working on a number of things such as online database violence, search and seizure of electronic devices, a number of other things. So, online database violence I'm covering in a very short, very short form right now. You can obviously take a look at our guide, which is publicly available in regional languages as well. So, next slide. Okay. So, what is online database violence? My question answer नहीं करूँगा, just jump over. Yeah. So as lawyers, you might know we are very fond of essentials of one thing. So I have also based it as an essential. So online database violence has 4 essentials, right? For it to qualify as an online database violence. The first one is that it's a targeted violence. The second one is that it's based on one's gender. The third one is that there is an intent to cause harm, malintent. The fourth one is the platform. Where is it happening? Where is it happening? It's happening on an online platform. So if these 4 essentials qualify, then you have something called online database violence. This is separate from gender-based violence because it's happening online. So what are the harms of online database violence? We had a session in the morning today that delved on this. It's called Whose Data, Whose Body. It was more on the gender-centric data. The harms of OGPV are
his income level, his name, account IDs, all of that, or his browsing history especially. How can you harm it?
Black and empty somebody's bank account.
Sorry?
Blackmail.
Like how do you? Elaborate. I want you to blackmail him. Just do it now.
You can empty somebody's bank account because they ask for like certain questions about like so that's pretty much all they ask for.
Ransomware basically.
I mean, the digital arrest scam is something.
Yeah, that was something, yeah.
But he's a lawyer who knows that there is no such thing as digital arrest. So harm him. I want you to harm him.
Do you want them to physically harm?
No, later. But with this detail, you can physically harm as well. But yeah.
Use identity theft.
Identity theft, yes.
Identity theft is not a joke. Millions of people suffer every day. Just to go past.
The biggest, I can say, theft or I can say, जिस पे हमला है वो है on his status. How I can demand it because we are earning the money to gain a status.
Yeah.
If we will theft on his status, then obviously he can sacrifice all his earnings on that with his status.
Yes.
This is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm a media student, that's why we have these kind of things.
Yeah. So we've seen a few examples of what one person can
sold
do.
on dark web and they can get money.
Yes.
We are trying to understand what harm does it bring to harm. We know that his data is out.
So, I'll just get to his point. What he's trying to say is that we conducted similar exercise on IT Routine.
No, I did it in IT Gujarat.
IT Gujarat, yeah.
And people, there were 300 people there, and I asked the same question. I gave them the list of the data of somebody is out, and they were rapists, murderers, they were kidnappers, blackmailers. They could be so creative that they came up with all the possibility to harm someone. So we are just trying to make you creative.
Yeah. So the idea of doing this exercise of what can happen if you have this data is to just make you understand how important your data is. Right? If I just have your login credentials and your physical address, I can go to your house, I can rob you. That's the least amount of damage I can do, except for the online reputation harm that he really very rightly spoke about, which is that my reputation can be compromised, which I really worked hard for. And in today's day and age, this kind of information, if it is so readily available, can be like a gold mine, right? So And in the beginning of showing you have I been found, I mentioned that these are all the reported data breaches that there are. Some people had 0. You also had on one email, right? Yeah. Do any of you use Airtel? PhonePe? Okay. So for the people who, all the people who had said 0.
Oh, how many phone pay? Sorry? I got an offer to buy all your data, by the way.
Yeah, and you will be surprised to know it was just 19,000 rupees for around 70 million, I think. 7 million user data.
Yeah, something
like that. Yeah. And that included your purchases, your numbers, your name, your login IDs, your the whole purchase history, your geographical locations, anything. So yeah. So for those who think, okay, fine, I had 0 breaches, these are reported data breaches. That means that were globally recognized to be data breach. There are on a daily level data breaches which are not recognized. And one such is Aadhaar and ROBC, which won't show up here for obvious reasons because they were not data breach. Yeah. Yeah. Moving on. So now the question comes is.
I'll take up this.
Yeah.
Basically, these are the very few, common excuses we give. I thought I was secure. The system was secure. I thought I just I kept the laptop in the car. It was safe enough. I thought Harun will keep my data safe. These are some of the excuses we give. So, the thing is that's exactly where everything goes wrong. And you are not supposed to first trust the system. Do not trust the system. Do not blindly trust something. We'll look into how you can trust the system, when can you trust the system, on all of that. Going ahead, wanted to make you understand what's the data profiling and tracking. As Harun has told, that some of the data which we have saw that has been reported in have been found are only reported ones. Especially those which are happening in India are not at all getting reported there. So there are a lot more. For example, PhonePe and was not listed there at all. So there are a lot more there. How many of you also have Hathway internet somewhere? If any of you have? Back then you had, they leaked my data. I've been arguing with them for 2-3 years now. No response from them. So that's what happens. All of these are not reported. But what happens once the data is breached or leaked? Let's say if I'm an attacker, if I'm a hacker, I wouldn't say the term hacker. It's politically not, definition English-wise also not the correct term. Because hackers are supposed to be people who try to understand the system, how it works, and try to upgrade it, to dismantle it, understand how it works, and then upgrade it as much as possible. Those are the people who are called hackers. But Hollywood has taught us the otherwise. Hackers are somebody who steals money from your bank account through internet. Those are called crackers. Those who crack a system for malicious intention, those are called crackers. But we have been taught otherwise. So let's say if I'm a cracker and I get all your data being stolen from certain system. The next thing I do is I go to dark web or deep web. I try to sell your data. I'll auction your data out. You don't even know that's happening, but yes, I am being selling your data. The highest bidder gets all the data. Like how in the PhonePe case, probably once I get the image, I'll show you. I have the message screenshot. I'm searching for it. I'll show you later. So the auction happens. Highest bidder gets the data. All of this is happening illegal. Once that the person who has got the data, they now go and resell it. The reselling happens until it reaches a certain kind of people who are called data brokers. Until now it was illegal, but I don't know how it is. But once data brokers get the data, they can legally sell your data without even your you being informed. So they can do that, and companies can buy data of yours from them. Probably Abdullah got your income data which has leaked somewhere else through a data broker. That's one possibility. Or they guessed it. It could also be a leak. So there are multiple speculations only we can come up. Once all of this happens, the whole data collection, data leak, then data collection and all of this happens. Once I purchase it, I cross-reference it with your email ID, your phone number, every other data, and I profile you. I try to understand your complete picture, because probably with Domino's I only gave certain information, but they have to understand you more. They cross-reference, or I'm just taking it, I don't want to corner Domino's, even though the pizzas are not good. So yeah, Domino's could be doing a data profiling of you and understand you more. Everybody is doing that. Everybody is trying to understand you. They are profiling you. Each and every activity of your internet activity is also being profiled. We'll look into how that is being profiled. So this is a extension. It's a tool for Firefox, which I use to understand how profiling happens, or how your browser tracking happens. Once you install this tool in your computer, this is how it should, in your browser, this is how it should show up. All the black area is where the browsing space is, and this is preloaded data. I have already browsed, and this is what you are seeing. That's for like 2 minutes of browsing. All the circles you see, that's a website which I have visited. All the triangles which you see are something called API requests and responses. It's basically how one part of a software and another part of the software communicate with each other. Think it of like two websites are trying to talk to each other. Flipkart, for example, has a Google login. So Google login system from Flipkart has to communicate with Google's login API. So that's the job API does.
Yeah. Just to put a clearer image now, anyway. So, for instance, what he was saying was, if Flipkart had a Google login, most of the time what we do, when we log into a website, we are given an option by most of the website where you want to go log in by Google, Facebook, or with your own email ID, just for ease of access. Yeah. So, just for the ease of access, what we do is we log in through Google. Fine. So, we think it's just simple. It's copying psychological damages. There are damage to your reputation, as you were also speaking of. There's physiological effects. There is an impact on your financial economic harm. There is social isolation. Why and how these things happen, we have just discussed from the exercise of data breaches. So, if my information based on my gender is outlined, or if I am someone who identifies in a particular manner and I have not come out yet, if someone finds out, they can use this information not only to harass me mentally or just to threaten me, they can also seek money from it. So that also causes financial harm, that also causes me to seclude myself from a particular community or the community in itself and live a separate life. Now, coming to the types of OGBV. So this is something that we have categorized. This is like how we have looked at OGBV, how we have looked at the recurses, what are the, again, essentials, ingredients to qualify for these separate online database violence. So we have 10 of these. These are online sexual harassment, cyberflashing, cyber stalking, non-consensual dissemination of intimate photos or videos, doxing, morphing, voyeurism, online exploitation or sextortion, database hate speech, and offenses specific to minors. These are long.
What is morphing?
So morphing is basically if there's a face and you're removing that face and using someone else's face. The deepfake is the modern form of morphing. Previously people used Photoshop. Now they generate the whole image altogether. But yeah, you can find, so what we have done with OGBV is we have categorized this into question answer format. So you have 3-4 questions. If you answer them and if those questions find true for you, then for that particular, let's say for morphing, that particular instance that happened with you qualifies for morphing, and then we have also discussed what are the legal rights you can have and what are the punishments that can be incurred on it. And in India, unfortunately, the laws are limited to gender, certain gender. And that limitation is also on male and female, and it doesn't go beyond that. So that's a problem that we are facing right now. We are working on it, we are working with the policymakers, we're trying to get that sorted, but as you know, that is it. For now, all these information are available there. We also include the reporting mechanisms and what you have to do. So you can read more about the types. I'll go to the recourses section just to tell you some things out of it. So the first thing is collecting evidence. Why do you make typing mistakes, man?
What is it now?
Collective evidence. As a lawyer, I am deeply saddened by seeing this. Anyway.
So, yeah. Big guys, so we do that.
Let me just confirm the spellings first. Yeah, fine. So it says that the first thing is for any crime, to report any crime, it is crucial that you have the evidence. Because an evidence which does not prove your guilt, a person's guilt beyond reasonable doubt, makes that person walk away. So it's very, very important for a person to have evidence and to do that, to have those, to collective that evidence. You must have a screenshot of every interaction. You must have a screenshot of every user data. So if someone told you that your such and such image of yours is available online, you have to have even that screenshot of how you came to know about it. Because the cause of action arises from law students. Cause of action arises from when you get to know the information, right? I can't right?
Spelling check.
Sorry.
He's been a sport. He's been a sport. He's actually in a sport.
Yeah. So, and then once you get to know about the information that is of yours that is on public domain, you will have to do the exercise of going to every single one of those platforms and taking a screenshot of that. You have to have a date and time to ensure that whatever evidence you are creating, it has to have a date and time. And these have to be the original screenshots, not forwarded. If someone forwards you an image of a screenshot, it does not qualify. You need to have your own screenshots. And if you are getting these, I know I have less time, but I'll come. And forward these images to yourself just to keep a copy of all of those things. So if you're talking to someone, and most of these days people are using Snapchats or disappearing messages, but if you're doing that and if you feel like there is something that could be crossing a line, you forward that message to yourself. Just to keep that as an evidence, because that cannot be screenshotted, that cannot be saved. So you forward it or you take a picture of it with a different device.
So for example, if I am sending some offensive message to Harun, I could delete that message later. But if Harun just forward it to himself,
you will be sending messages to him right now.
for all pointing or all this message. But yeah, so if he forwards and keeps it, the sender's name is also saved. So he can use it as a proof.
Yeah.
So that's why of all of them, forwarding is much easier.
Backtracking is easy.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Yeah, next one. So yeah, and then we have reporting levels. So there are, because this is happening on online platforms, we have levels of reporting. So the first level of reporting happens on the platform itself. Because you don't want the publicly disseminated data to be disseminated further. So you would want the platform to take an action and remove it there and then. There are other steps that you would want to file an FIR that happens later. But the first step that you have to do is with the platform itself, and that is to report. For a website, see if there's a report option and report the post related to the online cyber violence. As per law in India, the social media sites are required to acknowledge this and respond to you within 24 hours. And they take an action and respond to you within 24 hours. And they also have to, once they have taken this decision, they have to come back and tell you that, okay, we have taken such and such action. If you're satisfied by the option, fine. If you're not satisfied by the option, you go to reporting level 2, which is next slide, which is going to the GAC, which is Grievance Appellate Committee. Not committee. I am making
Lawyer.
So yeah, so if I am unsatisfied with the result that the platform had, I can go to the GAC. I can file a review appeal to the Grievance Appellate Committee on this particular website. It will ask you to create an ID. It will ask you for the links for which you had reported. It would ask you what you want to report and just write it down in a summary, right? Other than this, we also have the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal where we can report these incidences. So for GSC, for all these things, you are mostly responsible for reporting your own things. For Cybercrime Portal, you are allowed to do as a third party as well. The GSC, for the GSC, that thing was true up until 2 months ago. Now you can report for others as well. Now,
Does anything happen after reporting?
yes. See, mostly for gender-based content, we have seen some things happening where the account were banned, where the account post was removed within the stipulated time. And when they did ban the account, they also banned the user ID and the email address and any other credentials, so that person could not make another ID in the same account and continue doing that. But that is like 4 out of 10 instances. It's not always successful. So, yes, sorry. Dude, you missed the virus actually. Yeah. But that's why in order to do this is something that you're doing without going to the police. So this is a parallel thing that runs. So reporting level 1 and 2 are something that you have to run parallelly. Sorry. And at the same time, what you have to do is to immediately file a report in the nearest cyber cell. If you do not have a cyber cell, you can go to the nearest police station and file it. You can also file a complaint online. So, and you can file that complaint anonymously. The only downside of filing an anonymized complaint is that you don't get to see the progress. Then you will just get to know that, okay, your complaint has been filed and the police is taking action, but you don't get to see the status because you filed it anonymously and they would not share it. So, and we have explained all of this in very great details in our OGBT guide. So if you want, you can take a screenshot and you can then read it later. Once you're done, I'm waiting like five seconds.
I'm not able to open the page. It says the server can't be found.
And can we say this privacy is only a myth, we can say? It's only written in these books, nothing else. Because some more stories behind the curtains are always...
Yeah, privacy is a myth, but achievable as well. And these are his words, not mine.
Achievable.
That is achievable.
But if government is supporting those very corporates and these capitalists, then how you can say that we can achieve?
Why are you saying government is supporting corporates and capitalists? Government itself doesn't want privacy.
Because they are supporting them, because they are reaching out data, that's why.
Why am I saying it's achievable?
More than corporates, it's the government itself tries to reach
That's
the
why,
privacy.
that's why 70 to 80, 90% of the wealth is owned by this few portion of the society. Only 1%.
What you can do is, I'll just come back. What you can do is you can sflc.in's guide on online database violence.
sflc.in/guides. Just go there, all the guides are there.
Complete करके आओ.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, I'll just come to you after I finish this. So much like the OGBT guide,
Yeah, you can.
we have another guide on search and seizure of electronic evidences. Because you're a media students, this might be helpful, and for lawyers as well, because we are not spared from this. It's not happening.
We did a case on this.
Oh, you did.
I think so.
Was it Ram Ramaswamy?
Ram Ramaswamy.
Yeah. Move it. Move this. You know the recent most ordered grammar or something?
They told to use
Follow
the
CPI manual, right?
manual.
You know CPI manual is not available in public domain.
That's news to me.
So they ask you to use a thing which you can't access. That's how government is. Bro, let me complete.
Yeah.
What was next?
Such as zero.
Search is here, I just spoke about it. Okay, now I understand.
It's my turn, but for that, there's the one sflc.in/guide. All the guides are. Wait, before I go there are a few things here. We have seen all the harms that the technology is doing to you. More than physical world, it's the tech world that's doing it. So what do you think is take that back quickly? Is tech really bad?
Is technology really bad?
Technology is not really bad, it's beneficial, but the thing is how you can operate it, how you can use it.
Yes.
How the masters are operating it.
Should I conclude it as good or bad?
Both.
If we have democracy, a real democracy, then it's good. But if your dictatorship,
Democracy is also a myth.
everything is myth.
It's just the governance of the data of the tech was making it bad. So it's like a tool. It's like how it's being.
Okay, so one of my mentors taught me this when I started my tech path journey. Is that?
Go ahead.
So this is what I learned, that technology is neither bad, not good, and not even neutral. It's totally upon who uses, who controls, who has the knowledge, and why it is being used for. If you don't have the control upon the software or the technology you use, somebody else has it, then the software, the technology will work for them for their own purpose. So you have to know there is no excuse. And second and foremost is, in medical field, we all have heard that prevention is better than cure. But when it comes to data production, there is no cure, there is only prevention. If you wish to do it, there's nothing else you can do. If your data is out, if unpacks is released your data, it's all going to be out forever. Your email ID is out, change your email ID, give your new email ID to everyone. If your phone number is out, change your phone number, give it to everyone else. If your password is out, definitely change your password, because if I am a cracker, I will definitely check if it is Gmail password in Facebook as well. Because how many of you have same password in more than one account? Yes. So your Facebook will be safe. Gmail is leaked. I can use the same password to compromise Facebook as well. It's not a good practice. So do know that. Second thing is the operating system. These are some of the device protections I wanted to go through. Quickly choose a better operating system. I do not use Mac or Windows operating system. Always go for any of the GNU Linux operating systems. Questions will go for. One of them which I use as well as my organization completely uses is Debian. You can use any of them. In fact, if you are into too much anonymity, you can use Tails as well. It just sticks in your pen drive, put it, boots, works, let the pen drive out, it's all vanished. Do not do any illegal activity. Update your operating system, regardless of what operating system, always keep them updated. At least the security patch. I know there are other operating systems who maliciously tend to make your computer slow on every update when their new product comes up. I'm not going to name which company, but they do it. I didn't name it. He did. So, but security patches at least always do update, because there could be a lot of vulnerability faced. Even the safer operating system which I am suggesting, I would always suggest you to keep it updated. Next, keep a backup of system data as well as configurations. Go through the setup. To go through the setup, first is encryption, very important. All your data has to be encrypted. Before going to encryption, your password should be in your computer of 3 levels. How many passwords do you enter to log into your computer? Is anyone here who doesn't enter password to log in or any other protection at all? Just open it and you are already in. Okay.
That's why you're sitting in the front row.
You require this DSC
It's
response.
easy, right? Just open.
It's easy for
Saves
everyone.
time.
Okay, one more important thing is all the systems which I am telling you, all the techniques which I am telling you, is it all applicable to everyone? No. For example, the amount of security I take, measures I take, whenever I see a camera, I put on my mask. First of all, excuse me for that. I should have told that earlier. Second, I do order from, my online presence is very much limited. If I have to order food, I do order from my browser in my laptop. I don't have any application in my phone. I order food from there. The address which I give is nearest metro pillar number. And in that particular service, my name is name. The delivery person has to know my phone number and my address to give my food. They don't have to know my name. 3 days back, the delivery food guy came to my house and said, "What's your name?" It shows name. I was like, "Name, it is name only." so they call me. I tell you, this is the pillar number. I go there. That guy will be. You could have just told me the address. I would have come up and given you. That's fine. I don't want to lose my data. This is priority for me. Can I tell that to a 70-year-old man? No. I cannot go and tell them that you have to walk 4 floors down, go get your food 1 kilometer away and come home. No, I cannot tell them. So it's always about
what he does. He's speaking very highly right now. What he does is he'll ask me to order food from him, my name, and then bring it to him. He'll call me at 2 a.m. when I'm at the airport. Can you book me a cab? He just asked me to online pay the fruit vendor outside. Sorry, you are very privacy concerned. You don't care about mine.
So the person who started the free software culture, whose name is Richard Matthew Stallman, said, "I won't book a cab online and do. But if you are booking the cab and doing it for me, why wouldn't I do it? So I will do it. I will go, but I won't book. I don't want to give my data." Okay. So 3 steps. So here. It's always about, I'll go for the questions now, sorry. Always about comfort and the level of security you want to take. Which particular instance you have, every instance you have to select comfort and the privacy security. Every time. Certain times I compromise my security and go for comfort. Certain times it has always been majorly been security. So you have to figure out which at what point you want. So here you chose comfort at the computer. Maybe it is for you, maybe not for me, right? It's personal. Here, what I did, I have 3 steps of password. Not many people know. Majorly techies, not even techies do know. There are 3 levels of password. Your computer's hardware, the motherboard has an operating system called BIOS. Apart from your actual operating system, the motherboard has an operating system called BIOS, basic input operating system. That can have a password. So even if somebody steals your computer, even if they know the operating system password, they cannot get it because of the password on there. Second thing, if you don't have a hard disk encrypted, I can just take the hard disk, put it in another computer which has already an operating system, and it will just act like a pen drive and give me all the data. So it's not safe for me. Disk encryption is very, very important. So another password. Last is your operating system password. So in my office, everybody has to enter 2 to 3 passwords to get to their computer. I know it's hard for the lawyers, but they are doing it. Sadly, I have made them do it, but I am doing that.
Make peace with it.
Yeah. So once you get used to it, you will feel okay. Periodic data backup and antivirus definitely. I know antivirus will make your computer slow and everything, but I suggest Clam maybe kind of antivirus. I won't suggest every other antivirus. I support. Clam maybe is one of the antivirus.
Come to boss.
Okay.
Come to boss. One more.
Go ahead. Okay, for your phone, these are some of the places where I suggest you can download trustable softwares. Not even the Aruna store, but f-droid.org is where you can download privacy respecting applications. For example, for YouTube, I downloaded something called NewBike from Webdrive. I don't have an app. I can also download all the videos which I am watching in both audio format as well as video format. So I can do that. And Webdrive also lets you know, it's a play store for the privacy respecting software, and it also lets you know which software, if at all, has any of the glitches, problems in it. Let's say if it is using some external network and it could be problematic to you, it will notify and let you know that it's a problem.
Right. Thank you.
I think it's done. Yes. Thank you so much. This was a wonderful session.